In life, there are times when talking can cause more problems than else. That's why knowing when to stay silent is important as a Muslimah. With the Quran and Hadith's help, we'll learn when silence is the right choice. Silence can help us see clearly, be patient, and understand our role as Muslims better. So let's find out together how silence can bring peace and wisdom into our lives. Part 1. Never argue. In Islam, the good things you say are important, but being silent at the right time is also as important as well. One of the cases is when people disagree or argue with you. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us, he who believes in Allah and the last day should either utter good words or better keep silence. And he who believes in Allah and the last day should treat his neighbor with kindness, and he who believes in Allah and the last day should show hospitality to his guest. Sahih Muslim 47a. This lesson is there to help us avoid arguments that can lead us away from being good and peaceful. Think about a time when a talk becomes a heated argument. This is when being silent is wise. If you don't join in negative talk, you're not just avoiding trouble, you're also showing the respect and self-control Allah, the most glorified, the most high, wants us to have. Being silent can protect you and others from getting hurt by unnecessary arguing. Being silent doesn't mean you're weak. It shows you have strong faith and can control yourself. It lets you take a moment, think about the situation, and act in a way that fits your beliefs as a Muslimah. By doing this, you find peace and clear thinking, even when there could be an argument. This is how choosing to be silent can turn a difficult moment into a chance to show your strength and faith. Part 2. Be 100% present when listening. Remember, being silent is not just staying out of fights. It's also a time to think and get closer to your faith. Let's learn more about how Islam teaches us the power of staying quiet. Next, we'll see how being silent can show respect and help us improve our active listening. Stay with us to find out how choosing to be silent at the right moment can make our lives better and bring us closer to Allah, the most glorified, the most high, our friends and our family. Being silent is also a way to show respect and give your full attention to others, a practice deeply preached in Islamic teachings. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, showed us through his actions how listening attentively is a form of kindness and respect. When someone spoke to him, he would turn his whole body towards them, showing that he was fully listening and valuing what they had to say. This respectful silence isn't just about not speaking, it's about actively listening. It means paying full attention to someone when someone shares his thoughts or feelings with you, without you thinking about what you will say next. This kind of listening can make the person talking feel valued and understood. For example, imagine you're with a friend or family member who is sharing something important with you. By choosing to be silent and listen carefully, you're showing them love and respect. This not only makes them feel good, but also strengthens your relationship with them. In our fast-paced world, where everyone wants to be heard, choosing to listen is a powerful act. It shows you care about others and what they have to say. This way of using silence can bring peace to our hearts and to our loved ones, and it's a beautiful way to live out our faith every day. Part 3. Reflect in the quiet night. Now that we know how being silent shows respect to others and helps us listen better, let's find out more. Silence can help us in many ways in our faith and everyday lives. Next, we'll see how being silent can give us inner strength and help us think deeply, especially when things are getting tough. Stay with me as we learn more about how Islam teaches us that silence can make us stronger, help us stick to our goals, and bring us closer to Allah. Silence is a powerful tool for self-reflection and for finding your inner strength, especially during hard times. And Islam teaches us that quiet moments allow us to connect deeply with our thoughts, feelings, and with Allah, the most glorified, the most high. Here's an example from the Quran in Surah Al-Muzammil 73:14. O you wrapped in garments, Prophet Muhammad, stand to pray all night except a little. Half of it, or subtract from it a little, or add to it, and recite the Quran with measured recitation. These verses show us the importance of standing in prayer during the quiet parts of the night, a time for deep reflection, connection with one's inner self, and communion with Allah. When we're silent, we can hear our inner voice and Allah's guidance more clearly. This helps us understand our challenges and find the best ways to face them. For example, the Quran teaches us to be patient and to trust in Allah during tough times. Here's an example we can find in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153. O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. Being silent and reflecting helps us practice patience. It gives us time to calm down, think about our situation, and remember that Allah, the most glorified, the most high, is with us, guiding and supporting us. Think about a time when you were upset or worried. Instead of talking about it right away, you chose to be silent and think. During this time, you might have found comfort in your faith and in knowing that Allah has a plan for you. This kind of silence can make you feel stronger and more ready to deal with your problems. By choosing silence, we're not running away from our problems. Instead, we're taking a moment to gather our strength and seek Allah's help. This makes us more patient and resilient. So, next time you face a challenge, try to find a quiet moment to reflect. This silence can be your strength, helping you find peace and the right path forward. Part 4. Use silence for a better community. After seeing how silence can help us think and get closer to Allah, aren't you excited to learn even more about it? Because silence can also help us get along with others. So next, we're going to look at how staying quiet can create peace and understanding with the people around us. Keep watching as we find out more about how being silent can be a good thing in our daily lives, following what Islam teaches us. Silence is very important for creating peace and good understanding in our communities. Islam teaches us to live peacefully with others and maintain good relationships. And sometimes, the best way to do this is by choosing not to speak. When people might get upset or argue, being silent instead of saying something can stop fights or hard feelings. It helps us really listen to what others are saying, see things from their side, and answer kindly. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told us that it's important to live together in harmony and understand each other. This is what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said. The believers in their mutual kindness, compassion, and sympathy are just like one body. When one of the limbs suffers, the whole body responds to it with wakefulness and fever. Sahih Muslim 2586. This hadith shows us the importance of empathy, mutual respect, and understanding within the community. This encourages Muslims to live in harmony and support each other, much like the parts of a single body support and respond to one another. For example, if people are gossiping or saying mean things, not joining can stop the hurt from spreading. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day should either say something good or stay silent." Sahih Muslim 47a. This means we should try to make our communities better or choose silence to keep peace and respect. By choosing silence in these moments, we're not just staying away from negative talk, we're helping make a place where everyone respects and understands each other better. Silence helps us build stronger friendships and a united community. This shows the deep wisdom of Islam in making peace and harmony among us. Part 5. When should you stand up? As we learn more about what Islam says about being silent, we face a big challenge: how to balance telling the truth, standing up for what's right, and knowing when to stay quiet. This balance is very important because our words can either help or hurt, build up or tear down. You'll encounter this challenge when you'll see something wrong happening. Islam tells us to fight against wrong and help those who need it. But sometimes, saying something right may not be the best choice. So how do we know when staying quiet is smart and when it means we're ignoring the problem? This isn't just something to think about. It's an everyday test of our faith and bravery. It makes us think hard about what the Quran and Sunnah teach us, to look for answers in prayer, and to talk things over with others. The struggle between when to talk and when to be quiet helps us grow. It teaches us more about our faith, who we are, and how we want to make a difference. Going through this struggle reminds us how important our words and silence are. They show what we believe and who we are. Figuring out when to speak up and when to stay quiet is a big part of following Islam's teachings in a world that keeps changing. It's a journey that needs us to keep paying attention, thinking deeply, and most of all, wanting to do what Allah wants. Last part. What does being silent mean? In this journey of learning about silence in Islam, we found a special moment of understanding. The real benefit isn't just in knowing when to talk or when to stay quiet, but in the wisdom, peace, and strength we get from making these choices. So, will you bless someone today with the same knowledge you had? Will you help another sister who has the same problem you had before watching this? If you want to help the Ummah and share this valuable knowledge, all you have to do is like the video, comment on what you would like the next video to be about, and share this video with a Muslimah who may need it. Let's keep supporting and inspiring each other. By choosing silence wisely, we reflect deeply and live with a clear purpose. The best part comes when we feel closer to Allah during quiet moments. This quietness gives us peace and trust in Allah's plan for us, showing us He's always with us. This trust makes our faith stronger and helps us grow as kind and tough people. Also, when we choose silence or words carefully, we inspire others to find this balance too. We show how to live by Islam's teachings, creating a community filled with understanding, patience, and respect. In the end, the real gain is living a thoughtful life and following Islam's guidance. Every choice to speak or be silent shows our love for Allah and our aim to be our best. This journey shows us what it means to be a Muslimah, giving us the strength to handle life's challenges with dignity and faith.